Revelation 18:23. And the light of the candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and the bride shall shine no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by their sorceries were all nations deceived. Hey y'all, it's Donna. I want to look at this verse today. Formikia in Greek means sorcery, and you can look at this many different ways. You could see sorcery and Formikia as being big pharma. You can see the merchants of the earth being like big business, and the way our modern world is being deceived through mainstream modern thinking and ideas. And not only that, but diet as well. So if you look at this explanation, it's talking about, drugs and how they think this is how the sorcery will encompass us.
According to transcripts translated by Hugh Trevor Roper, apparently on November the 11th, 1941, Hitler said, "One may regret living at a period when it's impossible to form an idea of the shape the world of the future will assume. But there's one thing I can predict to eaters of meat. The world of the future will be vegetarian." In further conversations on January the 12th, 1942, he said, "The only thing of which I shall be incapable is to share the sheik's mutton with them. I am a vegetarian, and they must spare me from their meat." He also liked to bombard dinner guests with graphic descriptions of slaughterhouses he had visited in the Ukraine as a way to turn them off meat. In addition to this, while watching movies, any scene in a movie that had the killing, slaughtering, or otherwise abuse of an animal in it, he would look away and have someone tell him when it was over, as he couldn't bear to watch it. In fact, he couldn't bear it so much that the Nazi Party banned such scenes in film. If this isn't enough irony for you, consider the amazing number of animal rights laws the Nazis created and enforced. The Nazis banned commercial animal trapping and vastly restricted hunting, among other things, like restricting the shoeing of horses and banning the boiling of lobsters. One fisherman was even sent to a concentration camp for cutting up a frog to use as bait. After passing many of these animal rights laws, Hermann Goering, a prominent Nazi Party member, said those who still think they can continue to treat animals as inanimate property will be sent to concentration camps.
So there's also Margaret Walk, and she was a food taster of Hitler's. She came out several years ago and talked about how he definitely was vegetarian towards the end of his life. And it's funny when you hear from a vegan, they like to do this with a lot of information. They'll twist the truth, or they'll omit certain details and certain facts to, just keep in line with their beliefs. And of course, they don't want to be associated with Hitler. I get that, but it doesn't matter. I mean, he was vegetarian. And so by arguing that, his chef had a cookbook with meat in it, so that proves somehow that he wasn't that doesn't make sense. They're still omitting, Margaret and these other records and quotes from Hitler himself. And it's funny how they do this with a lot of things, but my point is you don't have to do this. You can just still have logic and reason. You can still say, okay, well, he was vegetarian, but that has nothing to do with the rest of us. But they know that does have something to do with it, because a lot of these activists nowadays are very, very extreme in the way Hitler was. But why is this? And I wanted to explore it because I really think nutrient deficiency has a lot to do with mental health. And we see this with so many people who start eating meat again and they're, not depressed anymore, or even just grains. If that's, you're having a problem with that in your gut, I even myself have issues with depression and emotional instability when I'm eating grains. The synergistic issue, which animal foods are the only foods that come in a complete package with everything. So you can, try to get calcium from spinach or D2 from mushrooms. But the thing is, a lot of these nutrients work, they need all the other ones to be there at the same time. And so that ends up being a problem. And I think vegans, they see us as bullying, as being unkind, but the thing is, they're lacking, and that's not just being harsh or rude. They're lacking, and that's why they can't see what we see. They can't be logical and see that you shouldn't be this white in front of a white wall. You should have blood flowing to your skin, through your body. It doesn't matter the lighting. You should be able to see that you look alive. And so a lot of celebrities are doing this as well, and they're selling this. They're selling this through the mainstream to regular people. And it's not that they're trying to deceive people. They believe it themselves. And they are deteriorating themselves, only they can hide it better. Pete Davidson is one that when he got with Ariana Grande, he started eating more vegan with her, and he ended up looking just wretched. And everybody blamed it on drugs and mental health, but they're not looking at what, one of the biggest factors in mental health is what we're putting in our body. And so if you're eating a diet that requires pharmaceuticals, pharmacia, sorcery, to even maintain it, going to end up creating a global system that we depend on these big corporations, and we cannot survive without them, and we're still dying, and we're going to still see this rapid deterioration. And the thing is, we care. We are not here to bully. We care about our fellow humans. We care about you guys more than you care about the animals, more than we care about the animals. Call it speciesist, call it whatever you want to, but the fact of the matter is, this is what species do to survive, to not go extinct. They care about each other. They get together and they work together. It is only when the mental health starts to deteriorate that we see people branching off and being catastrophic to themselves and others, to the whole human race. And they don't realize they're doing this, but it's happening, and it's happening before our eyes, and it's been happening for a long time. Can you imagine the most perfectly planned diet that could just kind of stay hidden beneath the cracks, to where people can be fat, skinny, all different sizes, and seem like they're doing okay, to the untrained eye? I can't think of another way to better plan this. I mean, the devil himself could not have better planned a diet to kill us off.
I'm feeling a lot better, so should be able to upload normal videos soon and stuff, so